Now it's time to get outside and kind of see what has fallen throughout the winter in terms of branches, limbs, or trees. Now it's time to kind of get out and pick these things up, kind of clear it out of the yard. Like I said, it's not much this year. Just a few things have fallen. Usually it's a lot more than this. That pile over there, these piles here are piles that I have been putting these branches and limbs and trees in for the last few years. Now it's time, I guess, for me to buy a mulcher or rent a mulcher, or maybe even burn these things in a fire pit, because it's getting kind of high. I want to make some room in the yard, neaten it up, tidy it up a little bit. Now, winter is the perfect time for pruning for a lot of the trees and bushes and whatever you might have outside. But there is not much for me to prune as far as all my trees outdoors. As you can see, I have planted some trees in the spring, and the deer kind of got to them, started eating these things. They went through the netting that I had that you saw a moment ago, and you can see that they've started eating some of my branches. Who would have thought that deer would just kind of want to eat and go through netting and eat the branches off of the tree? I thought it was something that was only going on here, but as I walk through the community, I see that the deer have done the same thing on other people's lots as well. This is something that the deer usually don't eat. They left some, but they still did nibble on that. Another look at what the deer have eaten here. You can see here they've did quite a good job on eating and tearing up this here little tree, my birch tree I bought and planted in the fall. As you can see here again, they tore through the netting. I guess I have to get something a little bit stronger next time. Little evergreen going there. I planted that 2 years ago, and it seems to be doing quite well. Now, this here segment is talking about zoning. I live in zone 5. When I first moved here, it was a zone 4 and then 4A, 4B, but it's in a zone 5. And looking around, and you can see that not much has started to grow here just yet. It is the end of March, almost April. Next week it'll be April. But nothing has started to bud just yet on any of my trees that I've planted. It's going to take a little while. As I walk through other communities and other zones, you can already see that trees are beginning to bud. They're looking nice and healthy there in other places. But here, as you look up, nothing's going on. Just looks like winter, and it is winter today. Like I said, it's late March, but the temperature right now is 17 degrees, so it's a little chilly out here. Well, it's cold, so there will be not much moving of the branches or limbs or anything like that today. Won't be no fertilizing or no pruning. Like I said, pruning doesn't really necessarily have to be done here out in my yard at this point in time, because the deer kind of took care of that for me. They maybe even over prune some stuff. Now, winter is an ideal time for pruning because plants are dormant. Trees are dormant, shrubberies are dormant, pretty much everything is dormant. So when you prune during winter, it reduces stress, it minimizes sap loss, and allows wounds to heal faster without attracting pests or diseases. You really don't want any pests or diseases to get into your plants or your trees, because that's a whole new set of problems that you'll have to deal with. Also, you can see better what leaves, or I'm sorry, branches you need to prune, because visibility is much better. Now, while many plants benefit from winter pruning, it is best to avoid pruning spring flowering trees and shrubs like forsythia or azaleas until after they bloom, as winter cutting can remove their flower buds. So, two things I want to kind of get across. First, know your zone. So, knowing your zone means, like I do, going out when I'm looking for plants, looking for trees, looking for shrubbery, whatever I want to plant in the yard. I look first to see what zone it is. So if it's a zone 5 plant, it's good. Zone 4, good. 3, anything below your growing zone in number is good. If you get something above your zone, your growing zone, such as if you live in a zone 4 and you buy a zone 8 plant or tree or whatever like that, that tree, plant, whatever you purchase, more than likely will not survive outside, because the winter season is too harsh for it. It gets too cold for it to survive. So first thing you should do when you're buying a plant or whatever to plant outside, check the zone. Second thing I do check is to check to see if it's deer resistant. That kind of works up here, kind of doesn't work up here, because the deer seem to kind of eat everything here. So most of the things that you see here that I plant in my yard should be deer resistant, or it's tall enough or big enough where the deer can't do much damage to it. Another tree I planted in the fall, the deer got to and chewed up. And another thing I want to get across is frost dates. Know your frost dates. Frost dates are the average dates of the last light freeze in the spring and the first light freeze in the fall. It's kind of puts you in the boundary of knowing when to plant your trees or shrubbery, whatever you want to plant outside in your garden or in your yard. So if you're buying something new to put outside, check your frost dates, because if you put it out too early and it has already started to bloom and bud, the first frost that comes in could actually kill it. So check your frost dates before you put anything new in your yard. And deer or something got to this. I'm not sure what it is, because I did have some wire here, as you can see on top, but it looks like something got to it too. I'm not sure if it was a deer or something else. Just to sum it up, so when you're purchasing something for your yard or garden to plant, just check to see what zone it's suited for. To see what zone you're in, just check the USDA Hardiness zone map. Also, don't forget to check your frost dates, because whatever you plant may not survive the frost. Alright, let's do a quick check to see what's going on inside. Remember this guy? My Styrex evening light. This is a video I took of it back in February, about 4 weeks ago. Look at it now. It's doing quite nicely. Leaves have come out. It's starting to show signs that it's got flower buds there. You can see right there. Nice flower buds coming up. It's coming in quite nicely, don't you think? And here is the Japanese maple. Back in February, about 4 weeks ago. At that time I said that it was starting to sprout. So here it is. You can take a look to see what it looked like again a few weeks ago in February. Now, because they start to sprout, I just want to make sure that they had enough nutrients to produce the flowers and the leaves that they should. So I added a slow release fertilizer to the soil. Now it's good to apply fertilizer that's good for the soil type that each individual plant or tree or whatever you're fertilizing likes. I chose an organic fertilizer, which we'll go into a little bit later in the next episode, talking about the differences between organic and synthetic. Now I'm just kind of clipping off some of the ends of this tree that's dead. So let's see what the next couple of weeks is going to do for this Japanese maple. I can't wait until the weather breaks so this tree and the other tree and all the other plants I have can go outside there on the deck so they can get some direct, nice sunlight. This one here likes a little bit of shade, so right now two things will work against it. Be too much sun for it, it'll burn the leaves, and the frost. So here they are. Here it is. Looking good so far. Hey, thank you for joining me. I'm Kyle, the yard and floor enthusiast. Follow me, subscribe, and journey with me in all my yard, indoor, and outdoor garden projects. Hope to see you soon.